Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing some essential tips on how to be a more respectful traveller. So let's go! This one was completely my fault. Motorcycle travelling isn't just about the thrill of the ride, it's about being a responsible and respectful traveller. So whether you're exploring remote trails or bustling cities, having good travel etiquette is really important, not just for your experience, but also the experience of locals. So let's jump in. The first part of having good travel etiquette is respecting local culture and customs. And how exactly do we do that? How do we show that we respect the culture of the area that we're going into? The first way to do it is by researching what is culturally acceptable in the area that you're going to and getting a kind of idea and understanding of what's considered socially acceptable. This is definitely something I didn't ever really do when I first started motorcycle touring. And the reason I didn't really do it is because I felt like I was going to those countries to learn about the country and to learn about the cultures and the customs. And for me, it felt like that was my research period. And in hindsight, I think that was very arrogant of me to not get a basic understanding. The last thing that you want to be doing is doing actions that are considered rude in the country that you're visiting. Now, an example that springs to mind, it wasn't a motorcycle tour that I went on, but the time that I was visiting Japan, I was sharing food with the person that I was visiting, and we were passing food between chopsticks. And this is considered exceptionally horrific in Japan because this is something you do at funerals. You pass the bones to each other of the deceased's relatives to pay respect. And so you don't pass food from chopsticks to chopsticks. And if I had researched that beforehand, I wouldn't have done it because obviously I don't want to be rude. I want to respect local culture. And it could have been one of those things where I had pre-researched it and then talked to someone in Japan about it and, you know, got an even further understanding. But I think it would put people off from talking to me if it looks like I'm being intentionally rude, and that is not the case. So do try to kind of research and get at least a basic understanding of the area you're going into. It will definitely make locals engage with you a lot more, and it will definitely make locals respect you a little bit better, where even if you're not getting something 100% right, the fact that you can demonstrate that you are trying really makes them open up to you and really makes them want to engage with you in a conversation, even if it's in a comical sense. So yeah, research customs. Don't be like early sprocket. An example specific to this trip is that I loaned a buggy to go off-roading in the Berdenas region, to go around the Badlands, and I had a guide with me. And when I first met him, I felt like he wasn't particularly open to me as a person. He seemed quite closed, and, you know, I engaged with him, we had some jokes, and, you know, within 10-15 minutes, he really seemed to like warm up to me. And while we were going around the Badlands, he would periodically stop the buggies and just tell tourists off. So one of the biggest issues was we would go like 5-10 minutes down the road and there would be tourists climbing on the really fragile sites with the rocks and basically damaging them. And he was getting really upset at just tourists coming in and basically trying to get that Instagram-worthy picture. And I think one tourist in itself wouldn't have been an issue, but the fact that we were stopping every 5, 6, 7 minutes to tell another tourist off, and I could see him being really annoyed by this. He clearly really appreciated his area and wanted to keep it in the best condition possible. And the people who were there, they weren't respecting it, and they weren't translating the signs nearby. And some of these signs even had pictures saying not to do it, but they were still doing it. And I could understand why he was hesitant to kind of warm up to the customers, because he doesn't really know what kind of person he's going to be dealing with until you kind of start riding. It's kind of one of those things where, are we going to be tourists that are ruining his hometown and he's just kind of putting up with us for the sake of work, or are we going to be the kind of tourists that respect us? And naturally, I'm the kind of tourist that wants to respect. And so, you know, I asked him a few questions as well. I was like, you know, can I camp in the area? And he's like, no, don't camp in the national park, it's forbidden. I was like, okay, I'll follow that. So yeah, look at local rules, look at local customs, follow them, and engage with the locals. That's the two things on how to respect local culture. Now, the other way that you can have good traveling etiquette relates specifically to motorcycle touring. And the first one isn't so much a problem in the biking community, but it's more of a, you know, acknowledge other riders, you know, wave at them, nod at them. For British people, this is like a super common thing. Like, this is almost second nature for us. We always say hello to everyone. And in the country that you go to, how bikers say hello to each other varies completely differently. So where I am in the south of Spain, they tend to wave at each other. In the north of like Spain, they tend to like stick two fingers out to the side. In some parts of Norway that I was traveling, some of them would stick their foot out. It varies massively. You pick it up really quickly. But I definitely think that's a really nice way to kind of have a more positive impact on the areas you go to. It's just to say hello to bikers. I do it with cyclists too. They love it. I've been like riding up like a massive mountain and I'll just yell at these cyclists like, you can do it, and they always burst out laughing, and you can tell it makes their day, and I enjoy it. I feel like that's something, you know, British people do tend to do quite well, is, you know, respect other riders. But I'll just put that one out there anyway, if in case there's someone who didn't know. Now, the other way you can be a better traveller relates to noise of the motorbike. If it's late at night, don't be racing around towns. Nobody wants to hear that. People have babies, people have small kids, people have work the next day. I get that you're in a new country. I get that it's a lot of fun. I get that, you know, some countries don't have the same kind of speed limits we have at home, but just be mindful of the daily lives of the areas you're going into, really, you know, clutch in, going through towns. Just be mindful. Be mindful of how you're coming across and be mindful of the noise of your bike. And it's very easy to forget that we ride noisy machines because we're so like desensitized to it, but for other people, they make these huge rumble noises and they are very disruptive. So yeah. The other way that you can have good traveling etiquette on a motorcycle is to remember to share the road and especially be mindful of more vulnerable road users. It really annoys me when people get angry at cyclists because I feel like bikers are in the same situation with cars. And I think as a motorcyclist, I don't really like it when cars are pressuring me and kind of tailgating me and trying to make me ride beyond my limits. And so when I go into a new area, I'm always exceptionally mindful of people who are more vulnerable than a motorcycle. And this means the cyclists, this means the hikers. And I try to make sure that if I'm overtaking them, I cross the line. I don't ever overtake them on the same line as them. I will cross to the other side of the road. I'll clutch in, I'll slow down, I put my hazards on so they know that, you know, I am intentionally taking all the steps possible to respect that is their road too and that they are a weaker party. Equally, don't be getting irate with car drivers, lorry drivers. The road is for everyone. It's not just for bikers. There are a lot of bikers who think they own the road. From what I've seen in the UK, not so much in Europe. People seem to have really good relationships with bikers here, probably because people have bikes from a really early age. But it's definitely something I see more in the UK. There are certain groups of bikers who think the road was made for them. And certain kind of bikers who will hail abuse at more vulnerable road users. I don't like it personally. I think it makes you look a bit like a tool. It's unnecessary, and at the end of the day, we shouldn't be using vehicles as weapons. They are modes of transport. They're not designed to harm people, so rein it in. The next way that you can have better traveling etiquette is by being environmentally aware and responsible. This is the idea that you should be leaving no trace to the areas that you are going to. So for the people who are wild camping, for the people who are traveling through areas, take your rubbish home. Don't leave it there with you unless there's a designated bin that accepts it. Don't assume that the bins are going to take it. Don't use local people's bins. Don't be grubby. Don't be self-centered. If you've pitched up somewhere, that area should look exactly like what you found it. Now, to go one step further, I have the belief that we should be making areas a little bit better than when we found them. And this was actually an idea I got from a Royal Enfield press day. They told me that whenever they hold their press days abroad or in specific areas, one of their kind of mantras is to kind of leave the area that they visit in a little bit of a better place than when they got there. And they do that by like a variety of different ways. They make sure, you know, that no rubbish gets left, and they try to kind of contribute to the area. And I guess in a sense, I really liked this idea. So it's often been the case where if I'm leaving an area and there's a little bit of litter that doesn't belong to me, I'll just pick it up and put it in with my litter. You know, as long as it's not going to give me like rabies or something, I don't mind doing that. Make it a little bit nicer than when you got there, and we'll just contribute to making a little bit of a nicer place for everyone. So there we have it. Motorcycle touring offers us a plethora of ways to connect both to different people and to different worlds and environments, and it's an incredible opportunity to learn and grow as a person. But I definitely feel like it's more so of an opportunity when you try to be a mindful traveler with good etiquette. So try to take that on board, try to consider these things going forward. I know the vast majority of you are really responsible on the road, but sometimes people are irresponsible and not intentionally, so I'm hoping that this might educate people a little bit better. I know I definitely was very ignorant and arrogant when I started traveling. I definitely feel like I've grown a lot over the last few years. The more I travel, I definitely feel like it's become more important to me as a person to be a better traveler and to engage with the locals in a nicer way and to leave more of a positive impact to the places that I'm going, and not to be chased off campsites by really angry Norwegian people because the campsite's closed and I didn't bother checking the sign because it was in Norwegian. Don't judge me, don't judge me. I wasn't young and dumb. So yeah, anyway, if you guys do want to see more great bike content, don't forget to hit subscribe. In the meantime, ride safe, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. My name's Safi Sprocket. Bye. This one was completely my fault.